The 2023 Formula One season will see the introduction of several changes to the technical regulation. Among other tweaks, the focus of the new regulations has mainly been on the floor, in an attempt to totally eliminate or drastically reduce porpoising. Minimum weight drops. In 2023 it will be 796 kilograms, 2 less than the 798 target in 2022. As part of an optimization process conducted over the winter, Ferrari has targeted key areas of improvement that it thinks can lift its chances for the new season. In 2022 season, Ferrari's F175 was not only a good-looking racing car, but it was extremely quick out of the blocks, winning 2 of the first 3 races of the 2022 Formula One season. However, a combination of poor reliability, strategy and driver errors, and rapid progress from Red Bull meant that the team was unable to sustain its championship challenge for long enough. But although its title hopes faded, that did not stop it trying to continue to eke out performance from its 2022 challenger. The new F1 regulations for the 2022 season brought with them several limitations. As for the power unit, the internal combustion engine is theoretically frozen. This measure, however, has a loophole as, for mere reasons related to reliability, the technicians of the teams can get their hands on the thermal components. Furthermore, the opportunity to increase the reliability of the engine, depending on the skill of the engineers, goes hand in hand with the possibility of increasing performance. But the problems of the historic Ferrari team are not strictly linked to performance. In fact, the 66 divided by 7 power unit showed great competitiveness, especially taking into account the higher coefficient when compared with that of Red Bull relating to drag. The two phone to 75 seconds are able to gently unload the approximately 1,000 horsepower that can be used on the ground, a sign of excellent suspension mechanics and, at the same time, of electronics capable of enhancing the motor skills of the prancing horse. The necessary premise, however, leads to a certain fact. Austrian Grand Prix 2022, car number 55, right at its most beautiful moment, when the Spanish driver was already in the 2 of Max Verstappen ready to overtake him, suffers a sudden drop in power caused by the breakdown of the Italian V6. The Maranello team's F1-75 car is forced to raise the white flag. Ferrari, meanwhile, is aiming to have a stronger 2023 campaign after its early season title hopes were washed away last year. The team has had a managerial change, with Frederic Vasseur taking over at the helm following the resignation of Matt Binotto. La Gazzetta dello Sport reports that Ferrari's upcoming car, which does not yet have a name, will be narrower due to an aerodynamic concept that will be largely different. However, it asserts that the car will be an evolution rather than a revolution of the F175. Beyond that, Ferrari also wants to reduce the weight of its new challenger, actually aiming to get below the 796 kilograms limit, which will then give it the option to add ballast to the car to help improve its balance and optimize tire behavior. Ferrari is set to launch its new car, codenamed the 675, on the 14th of February, but work is already advanced on its pre-assembly with the concept having long been signed off. The first is in aerodynamics, with the team set to further refine the innovative scoop side pods to help better manage airflow, both in improving downforce and also in reducing drag. But it is in weight saving that a core effort has been made, with rivals Red Bull and Mercedes both having struggled with heavy cars at times in 2022. While Red Bull was able to make significant gains through the course of the season, which played a part in the step forward in form that helped it later dominate, neither it nor Mercedes was able to reduce the weight as much as they wanted. That effort has instead been focused on their 2023 cars, with rumors swirling at the end of last season that Red Bull had already approved a new lightweight chassis that was around 3 kilograms under the championship-winning RB18. Sources have suggested that Ferrari has now also made good gains in this area, which should help it both in lap time performance and more crucially in tire life, with improved balance that can come from placing ballast in the right area, a key component in reduced degradation. With Ferrari having chased shaving off every gram of weight possible, the success of its efforts will not be known for definite until the new F1 car is fully assembled and finished. An insider said, the answers will only be found when the F1 car is put on the scales. However, the early indications appear positive, which will be welcome news for new team principal Frederic Vasseur. In fact, the area commonly described as the Coke bottle in front of the rear wheels will be slightly further forward, compared to the F175, in favor of a less complex airflow management directed towards the rear. In practice, if we consider the bodywork which on the F175 extended behind the engine cover, narrowing into a semicircular section, should be replaced by horizontal vents which it will extend all the way over the rear suspension members. This is a configuration partly borrowed from the Red Bull RB18 which, being equipped with sloping sides, was forced to dissipate heat through the rear vent and grills of varying width on the sides of the cockpit and at the base of the engine cover. In essence, the car body of the 675 will be characterized by different volumes compared to the F175 in favor of a lower drag. One change, which according to our information should further characterize the new single-seater, concerns the lower profile of the sides. The step between their vertical section and the floor side should appear much more marked. Basically, a sort of channel would be created, which follows the double floor principle masterfully interpreted on the world champion RB18. In a certain sense, it would be a natural evolution of the previous project, which would not completely disrupt the internal packaging of the cooling system, but would coincide with a different placement of the deformable structures on the sides of the cockpit. The chassis, in fact, in its lower section on the sides of the cockpit and in the fuel tank area, will be profoundly different from its predecessor, maintaining, according to rumors, a precise correspondence only in the pickup points of the engine. The work in evolving the location of internal mechanics then involved the total makeover of the gearbox to allow the adoption of the diffuser characterized by a 10 mm elevation of its junction with respect to the venturi channels. The suspensions have remained unchanged, but the rear one, precisely to allow for a different floor design in this area, would have a different location of the elements inside the gearbox. In addition, it is believed that there will be a new gearbox that will be more capable of increasing the competitiveness of the car, with another 30 horsepower available from the power unit. Increased reliability will mean the team's pace advantage over Red Bull early on could be maintained throughout the campaign. Former team boss Mattia Binotto has previously admitted Ferrari were forced to slightly lower the power following the early retirement. Before his resignation, Binotto also stressed focusing on the reliability concerns was the main focus over the winter. He explained, "That's our top priority because in order to win you need to be reliable, and that has not been the case in the season, as a balance of the season itself. The second is the speed of the car, because while we have been very competitive in quali, that has not always been the case in the race itself, and our race pace, whether it is from tire degradation or pure race pace, was not sufficient for a better position." According to Italian media, the new Ferrari will be narrower due to a different aerodynamic concept. A new gearbox will also be fitted in a bid to increase the competitiveness of the car. Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz has admitted he has kept a close eye on the team's new package but failed to open up on how good the changes could be. He commented, "Have I seen the new car? Of course, I've been following it for several months and I spoke to the new team principal Frédéric Vasseur. The winter testing session is not far, but I won't say anything until I see the others on the track." Ferrari can still have the fastest car on the grid at the start of the 2023 season, as it was faster than Mercedes in 2022, and due to the reduction of wind tunnel testing for Red Bull as the part of their penalty for breaching caution. As the new car is set to launch on 14th of Feb, let me know your thoughts about the Ferrari in 2023. If they successfully solve the reliability issue, then they will be able to use the extra 30 horsepower that the Ferrari power unit has to offer. And with better tire management and good strategy, they will strongly challenge Red Bull and Mercedes for championship this year. If you liked the video, and to see more content about Formula 1, hit that subscribe button. I will meet you in the next video. Thanks for watching.